You guys will start in around 5 minutes. All right, guys, let's start in another 2 minutes if that's okay. All right, shall we start? Hold on, I don't see Rashwan. Is he here? Apologies, guys. We'll need to wait another 2, 3 minutes. All right, guys. Let's begin the MSc. All right. So give me a second. All right. So let me. Okay. So hi everyone. Welcome to MSc 8. Sorry for starting a little late. However, let's continue on. All right. So for those who don't know what the MSc is, it's the Monash Student Council meeting, and it's held once a month. And we generally discuss things regarding what each department and division has done within the past month. And this is available for all students to view. So I think let's begin. Yeah, let's begin. All right. So let's start off with the attendance. So Sean will join later. Raj is here. Kirara, I'm aware.
Here.
I'm here. Koki.
Here.
Okay, Shalan, she won't come. Ethan.
Here.
Init.
Here.
Right. Kamala is here. Mangya. Okay. Jackson said he won't be here. Cheryl.
Here.
Okay. Jasper is gonna join late if I'm not wrong. Aoi. Aoi. Anne.
Here.
Okay. Ariel.
Here.
Okay. I think Imam was also not coming. Is Imam here? Yeah. Irfan. Irfan. Darlene.
Here.
Brian. Kaiwe.
Here.
Okay. Veena. Okay. Veena, you here? Naveen.
Here.
Okay. Stephanie.
Here.
Rainier.
Here.
Maisa.
Here.
Right. For non-MSc members. Okay. Ashley.
Present.
Danelle.
Here.
P.
Present.
Okay. Rohan.
Yeah, I'm here.
Rita.
Here.
Dominic.
Here.
Sorry about that. I still need to update the document. Yeah, there. Michelle.
Here.
Yeah. Rachel.
Present.
Ethan. Okay. Suan.
Here.
Okay. Nada.
Here.
Okay. Junjit.
Here.
James.
Hello.
Dom. CNS Dom. You're here, right?
Yeah, he's here. He's here.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Absent with apology. I'll fill this out after. And move on to the motion for that. There's quite a few people here. So acceptance of apology letters and proxy letters. Let's move on to the first motion. So the below office bearers have submitted their apology and appointed proxies in their absence. All right. First one is Jeremy and his proxy Stephanie. Then we have Inan and her proxy is Jasper, who will join shortly. Shellen, her proxy is Koki. We have Yenning, Aisha, Fadia, Jeanette, who are also not going to be here. Imam, whose proxy is Ariel. Jackson, whose proxy is Cheryl. Sonia, whose proxy is Mengya, and YC, whose proxy is Jaime. So motion for acceptance of apology letters and proxy letters accepted by
Kumala.
Mala. Thank you. So this motion has now passed. All right. So let's move on to today's agenda, starting off with the first thing, which is the election regulations. Now, the election regulations are the framework and essential element for conducting the MUSA elections, and they've been consistently updated year after year. And this year, very minor updates are required to very specific clauses. And as a result, we are going to add it as an addendum, which will remove any inconsistencies and will fit the mold for on-campus election. So I'm just going to show that document right now, so you all know what we are dealing with. So this document is made to add some clauses to the current election regulations in order to better facilitate on-campus elections. And these are as follows. So the current regulations have clause 34, which is prohibited conduct. We would like to add a couple of clauses to 34 clause part 4 within the prohibited conduct. And that clause reads, without limiting the generality of the sub-regulations of 34 sub-regulation 2 and sub-regulation 34.3, the following are specifically prohibited. So we would like to add the following clauses, starting with clause number 1, using the logo of MUSA, any MUSA body, division, or department, or Monash University for any form of publicity without exclusive permission from the MUSA executive of that division/department or body and Monash marketing. So essentially, the candidates are not allowed to use the MUSA or the Monash logo without permission. In Monash's case, from Monash marketing, and in MUSA's case, from any of the from like because there's multiple logos from the specific MUSA executive or that department. All right, that's the first clause which we feel is very relevant. Secondly, a party or candidate may receive exclusive permission to campaign all around campus, subject to the approval of the election commission. So since we are moving to on-campus elections, we thought it was important to add this clause. Only if the election commission does approve, may candidates be allowed to campaign to some extent around campus. So this is just a way for the election commission's role to also be better understood by the candidates and to clear any sort of inconsistencies that may have been there in the past. To further add on, candidates will also be allowed to campaign in communal areas, tutorial rooms, and the cafeteria during the voting period. So instead of making it allowed throughout the campaigning period, only during the voting period will they be allowed to campaign in such areas. However, this must receive approval from the election commission. Any sort of campaigning content, any form of campaigning must be approved by the election commission. Otherwise, it's going to breach the code of conduct. Next up, the candidates may not campaign physically or virtually. However, candidates may state, vote for me on their social media and physical campaigns, again, subject to the approval of the election commission. So that, in case they write something additional, the election commission may disapprove of that. So for example, they say, vote for me and don't vote for this person. Since those kind of, campaigns are not allowed, we want to keep it a fair and equitable election. Next clause within this is that the candidates may campaign once approved by the election commission, whether physical or virtual. This includes any promotional material on text or other forms of social media. So if they want to send a text out to any group, they need to get confirmed by the election commission prior to sending it out. And the election commission will allow and provide the candidates with tables, chairs, subject to the availability of them. So this year, since we are planning to do that, it's going to be the same case. The election commission will allow the parties and independent candidates to have tables and chairs, but subject to availability. And the last thing is that this is just to rephrase one of the clauses. It's that MUSA members are not allowed to campaign unless to campaign using any MUSA platforms and facilities. MUSA members include members of the MSC, all other office bearers, all subcommittees. MUSA members may campaign for themselves. This is in the case of them rerunning, and promotion of the elections without bias or mention of any one specific party or candidate is permitted. So for example, if you do put up a story about one of the any specific election thing, anything at all, let's say it's a KYC or even if it is to do with the election timeline or anything, as long as there is no visible bias or any mention of any specific party or you supporting anyone, it is permissible. So these are the clauses that we would like to add on. Does anyone have any questions? So I would assume that there are no questions for this so far. If that is the case, I'm going to ask you guys one last time. Does anyone have any questions relating to this? I will leave this document open for another 10 seconds to just read through it. All right. Since there are no questions, we will proceed to voting on this. So let's begin voting on this. So first of all, anyone wants to second the motion?
I second it.
Who said that?
Tina.
Inet. Okay, thanks. All right. Now let's proceed to the voting section of this. Before I start the voting, give me a second to open up. All right, yeah. So let's begin voting. I'm going to start off with Vice President Raj.
4.
All right. Koki, Treasurers.
4.
All right. Publicity, Cheryl. Cheryl. I will come back to Cheryl. Women's officers.
4.
Or okay. Welfare is Jasper. Is Jasper here?
Yes, I'm here. Could you give me like maybe one time to read through the Constitution? Just join the
Yeah.
meeting. Sorry.
Sure.
Thank
All
you.
right. Yeah. Activities. Mangia.
Exact address. I didn't give you the exact.
Wait, I didn't hear you, Mangia. Can you repeat? Kamala.
Sorry?
Kamala.
Yeah.
For the vote.
4.
All right. CNS.
4.
All right. SAS.
4.
Okay. SOB. SOB present. Okay. SOP. SOP.
Pharmacy, right? 4.
Yeah. Okay. 4. All right. SOMHS.
4.
SOE.
4.
Did I say SOS?
4.
All right. Okay. Yeah. SOIT. SOIT. We'll get back to that. So again, publicity.
4.
All right. Okay. Again, back to SOIT. SOIT. Right. What about welfare, Jasper? Okay. So we have only SOIT, welfare, and SOB remaining to vote. All right. So if they are not responding, I would assume that there would be an abstain. Jasper, do you need any more time?
Sorry. 4.
Or okay. So we have that done. What about SOIT? Any response from your side yet, Kaibe? All right. So I think we can end the motion here. And with that, we can pass the motion. The motion has passed. And for now, everyone who has voted for. So I will call this motion passed. Right, understandable, no issues. Yep. So this has passed, and now the election regulations will be distributed by the Election Commission the previous years, in addition to these four clauses. Just all right. So we can move on to the next thing. So we'll go to the president's report later. Rashwan will join us shortly. Until then, I'd say let's start off with the vice president's report. So Raj, you may begin.
Thank you, Hadi. For the vice presidents, there is not that many updates, only that we are rescheduling the TEDx event for this year. Initially, we had it planned for 6th October, but it was clashing with the Monash 25th anniversary festivities. So we are coordinating with the speakers to have it around in the 3rd week of October. That's about it. So acceptance of vice president's report accepted by.
Veena.
Thank you, Veena.
All right. Okay. So let's move on to the Gen 6 report. All right. So my main thing is just going to be about the MUSA elections and the handbook. So the MUSA elections, the blueprint was passed in an email motion. The election regulations, the addendum was get passed. So that's an update. On-campus debates and the results ceremony are scheduled at the concourse and porch area. The election commission was completed. We have 1 RO and 2 DROs, 1 non-Monashian, 1 Monashian. The candidate briefing and MUSA training was successfully held in a hybrid setup via Zoom and Auditorium 2, which was conducted on Monday. The banners for the elections have been designed and ordered. The election tables are going to be set up from Monday onwards. The electoral tribunal was also appointed, and the e-voting platform will be ready by next Friday, once confirmed with ITS. As for MUSA handbook updates, the handbook was asked to be updated by all departments. It is still underway and will be approved by an email motion within the coming week. Final amendments will be made once all the departments send a compiled document of their updated handbooks to the General Secretary. So does anyone have anything they'd like to ask here? All right. So motion 3, acceptance of General Secretary's report, accepted by.
Koki.
Thank you, Koki. Moving on, we have the treasurer's report. So Koki, all yours.
Hey, hello everyone. From the Treasury Department, we have 2 updates for this report. The first point is about PRPO requests. Recently, some departments have requested at the last minute before the events. So let me remind you about the procedure timeline quickly. So please check the timeline when you request vendor payments below. For vendor registration, it should be submitted 1 to 2 weeks prior to the PRPO request. And for PRPO request, it should be submitted by 4 weeks before the event date, at the latest if it's needs prepayment, or by 2 weeks before the event date if it's 30 days credit. I mean, no need prepayment. And if you planning to request any vendor payment but are not really sure about the procedure, please feel free to contact us earlier. And also, we are making simple guidelines for these complex procedures as well. And the last point is we have done training meeting with the finance director candidates for MUSA 2024. Okay, that's all report from our department. You guys have any questions? Okay, then this report is contributed by Shalen and Koki. The motion number 4, acceptance of treasurer's report, accepted by
Ethan.
Thank you, Ethan.
All right, thanks, Ethan. Let's move on to the next report, with the head of CNS's report. So CNS, take it away.
Yep. Okay. To proceed further, okay. Before that, CNS, we don't have much updates with regards to the report. First few things to highlight is that with regards to Monash Cup closing ceremony, which happened last week. Okay. So the Monash Cup closing ceremony took place on 22nd of September at the concourse area. Due to the risk of rain, the cheerleading competition was moved to badminton court and was carried out successfully before the official commencement of the closing ceremony. The official event commenced at 7 p.m. sharp with opening speeches, and then the event was carried out with dance finals, judge performances, cheerleading cipher performances, Taylor's University performances, music inter-house performances, as well as the closing act by special guest Asiraf Nasir. During the award ceremony, medals were awarded to first, second, third for all 20 sports. Now, moving on to the third point, we have with 2,384 points, Colibri won the championship. Openikers, they came close, second place with 2,065 points. Leviathan got third place with 1,609 points, and Manticore scored 1,508 points. Okay, now moving on to the next point is that we have the additionally we have further collaborations with Monash Cup 2023 sponsors. For next Monday and Tuesday, Genesis will have a roadshow on campus as a promotional campaign from time 10 o'clock in the morning to 5 p.m. in the evening. Yep, that's about it for Head of CNS report, contributed by Ethan and Dineth. Head of CNS, motion 5, acceptance of Head of CNS report, accepted by
Raj.
Thank you.
Thanks, Raj. Okay, let's move on to the next report. We have the head of MUSA's report. So Kamala.
All right. So for the MUSA reports, we have the overall update. We have a pretty major changes within the organization itself. So on the 18th of September, a meeting was held to due to the filing of a third warning letter against Ivan Joseph. During the meeting, Ivan appealed his warning letter, but the appeal motion did not pass. So this third warning letter in question triggered a vote of no confidence, which resulted in the removal of Ivan Joseph effective immediately. So for the time being, Michelle Alisa will be the sole media OB until further notice. From the MUSA secretary, the updates is that they did some preparation for a sponsorship proposal, and they orchestrated and executed EDI week. From the treasurer, they submitted the budget proposal for MCN, Orientation Game War, and Jom Sunway. From engagement, they also executed EDI week, as well as there's some updates about the MUSA Exisa Intercampus Game War. So this event was already approved EMS-wise and was already set in motion, but there was a low turnaround from Sunway side also. So it wasn't really balanced, so we have to ultimately cancel the event. An update from CRO is they have prepared MCN, EMS is approved. Ticket sales have started. So far, we have reached more than 100 tickets. Last I checked, it was 150-ish. And for country events, there are 2 countries that are in the process of trying to get an EMS to make an event within the upcoming month. And updates from MUSA Media is they have done the MCN promotion and marketing. For the website development, we can confidently say we've done 80% of it. There's still a few tweaks and add-ons that needs to be taken care of before we launch it. And the third is the MUSA Media program. So that is all for the report from MUSA. Anyone have any questions? If no questions, head of MUSA report accepted by
Chi.
I heard Chi there. Thank you, Chi.
All right. Thank you, Kamala. Let's move on to the next report, which is the activities chairperson's report.
Okay, so for the activities department, we just held our Monash Got Talent, aka MGT. MGT was held on the 15th of September at OD1 from 6:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. And students were able to showcase their diverse talents and creativity during the event. And preparations was start on 9 o'clock in the morning to 11 at night. And doors were open at 6:30. Then students were welcomed with free popcorns, cotton candy, and snacks. After that, our event was concluded at 10 p.m. And then the department stayed until 11 p.m. to have a post-event cleanup. And so for Monash 25th anniversary, the MUSA activities was appointed by Student Life to take part in the event, and the event will be held on 4th of October to 6th of October. Moving on to the October orientation, our department had also planned to organize for an activity during the last day of the orientation, and the orientation will start from 18th of October to 20th of October. So the idea of our activity will be a combination of Old Malayan and the Prologue du Voyage. Moving on to the Monash Ball. The Monash Ball will be held on 18th of November, and the venue is yet to confirm yet. So we'll confirm after discussion with Pravin. And the theme for this year's Monash Ball will be Met Gala with different sub-themes on each table, sorry. And we also propose to have an mingle table activity to boost and build new connections. So that's all from our department. Is there any questions? No, then this motion will be accepted by.
Cheryl.
Thank you, Cheryl.
All right, thank you, activities. Thank you, Cheryl. Let's move on to the publicity officer's report.
Okay. Today's report will be pretty short. So firstly, Monash merchandise sales. Firstly, we've decided to commence the Monash 2023 merchandise sales on week 11 in conjunction with Wellness Week. And great news, the event management system submission has been successfully reviewed and approved. Regarding the location of the sales, it has been confirmed that we will set up a shop at the Rock area situated right opposite Audi 1. So this high traffic location should attract more customers. For more specific information such as pricing and sales hours, please keep an eye on our social media channels as we'll be updating all the details there to ensure everyone is well informed. Secondly, MUSA lanyard and subcommittee t-shirt. The design and details for the MUSA lanyard and subcommittee t-shirt have been finalized and will be sending out PR and PO shortly to kickstart production. Lastly, we had previously discussed the potential to migrate the MUSA website to Squiz. However, after further discussions with SL team, we have decided to keep the website on WordPress to align with Monash Student Association MSA guidelines. This is all from me, contributed by Jackson Cole and Cheryl Ten.
Hi, sorry, I have a question.
Yes.
So is there any updates regarding the business cards?
The business cards, the design is ready. I think it should be done around the same time as the lanyard and t-shirt.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Motion 8, acceptance of publicity officer's report, accepted by
Michelle.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Let's move on to the next report. Sorry. The next report is the welfare officer's report. So Jasper. Jasper.
Hi, sorry, was walking. All right, so for the report for our welfare officers, we have recently had the animal shelter volunteering trip. And yeah, basically it's a collaboration with SOS that took place on the 9th of September. And a total of 17 students have joined. Students carry out volunteering activities with the dogs and the cats at the shelter over there. Next up will be our EDI week 2023. And welfare plan and carry out a total of 3 booths on our designated day of EDI week. 2 booths were informational with posters about respectful language used in regards to people with disabilities, as well as about the mental health and first aid. Third booth also was for people to write their personal actions towards looking after themselves. And with a total of 200 cutlery sets and lineup prizes were given out to students. Next up would be our mid-sem snack pack, which is an upcoming one. However, due to complications with receiving the funds, it has been delayed. And although the initial goal was to hand them out before the mid-semester break, they will now be distributed the week after. So this snack pack target will target 260 students as a total. So you guys can all look forward to that. Next up, welfare reels. The department definitely has started filming and posting reels on our Instagram page at musacares.com. Do give us a follow. No .com, by the way. The content consists of interacting with students around campus and asking them a series of welfare-related questions. And this is being implemented as a way to engage more with the student community and draw attention to students on our Instagram page. So Wellness Week is our flagship event, which will take place from the 9th to the 13th of October in conjunction with World Mental Health Day. We've gotten Naluri to collab with us, and they will facilitate in a workshop and a talk during the week. We also got Cetaphil, who has expressed interest in sponsoring products for our event. So you guys can expect free products in the upcoming weeks ahead. So a variety of other booths will also take place, as well as a special surprise on the last day of Wellness Week, which you all can look forward to. So yeah, that is all the updates we have for the welfare department. Thank you guys so much. Does anyone have any questions?
Yeah, I have a question. Any specific dates during week 11 or just the whole week?
It's the whole week.
All right, perfect. That's all.
Yeah. All right, thank you. All right, if I'm assuming there's no other questions, motion number 9, acceptance of welfare officers report, accepted by.
Koki.
Okay, thank you, Cookie. Thanks, everyone. Take care.
All right, thanks, guys. Let's move on to the women's officers report.
Okay, so for the women's report, I'll start with the EDI week. The department displayed posters on gender equity, which explain the difference between equity and equality, ways in which gender stereotyping plays a role in society, and how equity can be fostered in society. One booth was activity-based, where participants could choose to either memorize certain words in the definition of gender equity or to match pride flags with the correct labels. A lanyard would be given after completion of the activity. The event garnered a positive response with about 230 lanyards being given out. Next is the code red care package giveaway. The care packages are scheduled to be given out throughout week 11 to about 250 students. That is all from us. Motion 10, acceptance of women's report, accepted by.
Danelle.
Koki.
Thank you.
Wait, who said it first? I didn't hear.
Danelle.
All right. All right. Thanks, Danelle. Thanks, Anne. Okay, let's move on to the editor's report.
Okay, hi guys. So there's not much to report. However, we do want to report on several things, which firstly being launch. So our second final launch for this year has actually gone underway at Cha-In, and we're able to get a sponsorship there as well. So for our final launch, which will be at Morno KL this year, it will be happening in the 1st to 2nd week of October. And finally, the launch between the publicity officer team as well as Monga will likely continue only after week 12 following post exams. So this will also be followed by the postings, I assume. And then any relation to fund tracker and any posting regards to that will also be underway at that time. So secondly, a rather big change would be our magazine changes. So due to budget constraints and feedback from our team as well, we have decided that to actually cut our magazine quantity based on last year's numbers. So from 500 copies, we are looking to cut it to only about 150 to 200 copies, as we have found out based on quality check as well as printing manufacturers that the inflation has really affected the pricing as well as the quality control for certain places as well. So finally, for the media equipment, due to the feedback from our media team, as well as their subcommittee for the past 2 years, this year and last year, we have decided to contribute the budget we have cut from magazine changes to purchase appropriate media equipment such as another dust box, mics, cameras, as well as batteries, and so on and so forth. And as I mentioned, this budget of the remaining funds actually refers to the magazine cuts budget. Yeah. So that's all. It was contributed by the editors. And motion 11, acceptance of the editor's report, accepted by
Michelle.
Thank you, Michelle.
All right, thank you guys. We can move on to the school reps reports now, starting with School of Arts. So Ariel.
Hi, okay. Thank you. So the first thing we'd like to report on is our events this afternoon. So the crafts included batik painting, fluid bear, and DIY mosaic coaster. So we had a total of 28 participants in total. So secondly, we are organizing an academic workshop which will take place next week. So 4th of October, time 4 to 6:30 p.m. The venue will be Ideal Link. So the workshop that we will be including is public speaking and Canva workshop. And the third thing is the October orientation. So all preparation have been finalized and a campus tour will be included during the icebreaking session as requested by SSLC. And the other exciting event is the collaboration between SAS, SOS, and SOMAS. It's a Halloween party, which will take place on the 20th of October between 7:30 to 10 p.m. So it's a free admission event, and there will be a Halloween costume competition along with game activity booths and free food and drinks. And lastly is the SAS merchandise. So the tote bags and lanyard and enamel pins have arrived, and we're still waiting for the t-shirts and sweaters to arrive, which will be week 11, and the distribution will start by week 12. So that's all from SAS. And this report is contributed by Ariel and Imam. So motion 13 accepted by.
Okay.
Thank you.
Who said that?
Cookie.
Cookie.
Cookie. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Let's move on to the School of Business representatives report. So Irfan, you may begin.
Okay. Hello, everyone. So firstly, we'd like to update about our last event, October Mingle Night. So it is scheduled to be on 19 October. More details will be announced soon. And event preparation has been completed. So target participants we will be allocating this time is only 40. Moving on, for SOB, we have completed majority of our events, and we have completed all school collaboration events, with our last event being the SOBX SOE Balloon Barrage. Moving on, we also have concluded SSLC on 19 September. So outcome of the meeting was we had resolved some assignment submission issues because that week was during assignment week. And apart from that, we also addressed some issues regarding lecturers who didn't meet the minimum week quota for due dates on assignment. So basically what we announced was like what we discussed was some lecturers were releasing their content late, which is not 3 weeks prior. So we gathered on which lecturers didn't abide by that, and we addressed it in the meeting, and all the necessary CEs have been informed to make those necessary adjustments for the next semesters. And yeah, that's all. Does anybody have any questions? Okay, no questions. School of Business report accepted by?
Right.
Who's that? I can't tell.
Brian.
And Brian.
Okay, thank you, Brian.
Right, thanks, Irfan. Thanks, Brian. We can move on to the SOE representatives report. So,
Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Hadi. So we have concluded our Balloon Barrage event, which is in collaboration with SOB. And we also have concluded our Engineering Women's Conference event today. It was a 2-day event. First day was Monday and second day is on Friday. And for the SSLC meeting, we also had have concluded that, and the feedback was collected from the year reps and brought up to each of the course coordinator, and they have noted down on the improvement points for their specific units. That's all. School of Engineering representative report accepted by
Highway.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you guys. Let's move on to the SOIT representatives reports of highway.
Okay, so for our highlights, it will be Monash coding, about Monash, the conclusion of Monash Coding League, the distribution of a t-shirt sales, the SSLC meeting, and for MUSA elections. So for the first one, Monash Coding League, our Monash Coding League was held from 26 August to 2nd of September with a total of 113 students participating from 9 universities across Malaysia. The top 3 winners were awarded trophies and touch and go vouchers worth up to RM 1,500. The top 10 teams were given medals and the top 25 teams were given pins as souvenirs. The champion of MCL Semester 2 is the first napping composed of Wong Yen Hong from MMU and Sam Wei Hong from UM. So for our t-shirt sales, the total sales for our t-shirt totals to 3,025 ringgit. Extra t-shirts were sold during the collection period, and the remaining extra ones will be carried forward to be sold next year. The pre-order collection for t-shirts was held from 4th September to 6th September at the MUSA office. For our SSLC meeting, semester 2 was held at 19th September from 12 to 2 p.m. to discuss all FIT units offered. Following this, from our discussion, our SSLC will be using more feedbacks given on ESSFS rather than feedback given from representatives. And additional feedback after this will be given by SSLC instead, if needed. So for our MUSA elections, we have met with our running candidates, Ko Seung Jae and Diana, to explain the overall job scale and responsibility as a School of IT representative. So this all of our report for this MSc. So motion 15 accepted by
Vina.
Thank you.
All right, thanks guys. We can move on to the next report. So SOMHS.
All right, so for SOMAs, we only have 6 items today. The first one being our merch collection this year. We're still waiting for the prepayment to go through, and the packaging has been bought, like the paper bags and everything. And then secondly, for Halloween collab with SAS and SOS, discussion is underway. We are to finalize a lot of things. And then for the set to giveaway, the lanyards have arrived, and we will be giving out cookies also on the day. For number 4 is the medicine representative role. We were in discussion with the head of school to create an official proposal regarding the role of medicine representative from MUSA. And then for our SWOT-VAT packs, we are giving out care packages for students under our school before SWOT-VAT starts. And as for the October orientation, the EMS for the event has been approved. That is all from SOMA's. Acceptance of SOMA's report accepted by
Also,
Thank you.
Wait, I didn't hear who accepted the report.
MISA.
Oh, thanks, Manisa. All right, okay. Oops. Yeah. All right, we can move on to the next report now. So School of Pharmacy.
All right, thank you. So yeah, we also have 6 items. So essentially, the first is like we would like to announce that we have successfully concluded our OSCE workshop series with the Year 1 workshop held on the 23rd of September. Overall, it was a very positive feedback as we had a total of 58 participants attending. And in terms of the event progress, the FR is to be submitted to the MUSA treasurers in the coming days for the cash reimbursement for the event expenses, which we are using the EAC funds, which we have gotten approval for in the EAC number 7. Yep, the next is our remaining large event for the year, which is the year-end treat, a collaboration with MUFAS. We have decided on the event location, and the date is to be confirmed as we are currently trying to secure funds to secure the booking for the 17th of November, which is our preferred date. Next up is the SSLC meeting. So the SOP representatives will be attending the next SLC meeting on the coming Wednesday. And also on the note of meetings, we will be sending one representative to attend an ATC hearing on the 11th of October as a student representative for one student who will be attending the hearing. And next up, we have the tattoo giveaway. So in order to promote the response rate for the tattoo survey, we will be carrying out some giveaways to the students, and we are requesting AAT funds as well. The request will be sent to the VPs once the subcoms have completed their planning. And lastly, for the MUSA elections, we have met with our respective candidates and briefed them on our job scopes. And we are in close contact with them, so we are happy to address any of the questions. That's basically it from us. Acceptance of School of Pharmacy representatives report accepted by
Naveen.
Thank you, Naveen.
Right. Thanks, guys. All right, so we can move on to the School of Science representatives report now.
All right, so from School of Science, we have quite a lot, but it's not, it's pretty short. Okay, so I'll just start. The first one being we had the SOS with Welfare Animal Shelter Volunteering event, which was successfully executed on the 9th. And then next is the students chapter formation. So we had a meeting with the head of school, Prof. Emily, and the course coordinator for MedBio, which is Dr. Michelle. And we're planning to have a meeting with the Monash Science Club and other academic staff to further finalize plannings to increase exposure of science students to relevant communities around Malaysia. Next is the SOS merge. So a delay due to unforeseen circumstances caused the expected arrival date to be around week 11 to 12, the latest. And the next is the SOS voting competition. So this have ended and the winners have been chosen and contacted, and the prizes have been ordered as well. Next is the SOS and SOA symposium. This was successfully executed on the 7th of September. On the 21st of September, we have also successfully executed the Venture Capital Workshop, which is in collaboration with SOB. On the 12th of September, we had an SSLC meeting and met with academic staff and also the course representatives to present the concerns by students, in which our course representatives have compiled the solutions that were suggested by the boards. Next is the 2023 elections. So we've met with the candidates for our next for the next 2024 candidates. And then for the Halloween party collaboration with SAS and SOMAS, we are in the process of planning. EMS have been submitted. And for October planning, for October orientation, plannings are also still ongoing and EMS have been submitted. Lastly, next week, week 10, SOS, EMO, as well as the Monash Science Club are planning to host a career week, which composed of 2 events. So that is it for the School of Science report. Motion 18, acceptance of SOS report accepted by
Koki.
Ariel. Oops.
Thank you.
I heard Koki first. All right. So before that, let me just one thing. All right. So Rashwan cannot make it to the meeting at the moment. So I am going to read out his report for now. All right. So let's begin with Rashwan's report, the president's report. All right. So first of all, the president's report is the first point is the elections. So it's most important to understand that all of the MUSA office bearers are to abide by the regulations during this time period. The election regulations will be given by the Election Commission today, since the addendum has passed, and which will also be forwarded to the MUSA Telegram channels, so every single OB can view them. All right. So you may not use any social media to campaign for any specific candidate, but you can help promote the overall election. So any posts by the MUSA page itself, you can definitely promote those. However, any sort of other forms of what do we call it, publicity to one specific candidate is not permitted. All right. So OBs are also to be reminded to ensure that they do not show any favoritism towards any candidate. You must offer all to your support to all of the candidates, regardless of your own opinions. All right. If you are rerunning, then then you can support your own party, or as an independent, you're allowed to do that. One other thing to note, which isn't mentioned here as such, is that all OBs who are rerunning are to send in their official proxy letters to the. Sorry, guys, would you give me a second? I'll be back. All right, so sorry about that. Let's continue. One thing to note for all OBs who are rerunning is to appoint an official proxy. All of you OBs that are here currently, who are rerunning, please do send in your official proxies to the Election Commission on the Discord, and do also make sure that when that is done, to get written approval on the Discord from the Election Commission to allow you to continue your roles. This would go especially for those who don't have someone else as like his official proxy, like if you're not in a shared position. All right. Moving on for the president's report, we also have the shadowing period now. Once the elections have been concluding, all the OBs will have to prepare material which they wish for all the newly elected candidates to go through. You must provide the materials for review before the end of the election period. And after the election period, the candidates will undergo a shadowing period until the end of the year. So I would assume that would be the whole of November and December. They will go through a shadowing period where you must ensure that they're prepared for their roles. You must explain every single thing to them and properly transition them so they can carry on their roles. Lastly, there's also a meeting with PVC which was conducted. MUSA members met with the PVC and discussed a plethora of different concerns, which includes the university's future plans for development and how we can address student concerns. We also discussed with them the issue of the lack of space on campus for events and activities, and also for club storage. We are also working with FMD to alleviate these issues, and we've also discussed with FMD to give MUSA more access to the booking system so we can utilize the system better. That's all for the president's report. Does anyone have any questions? If there are no questions here, then acceptance of president's report accepted by
Michelle.
Michelle. Thank you, Michelle. All right. I think that should conclude today's meeting. So the time of adjournment would be 9:06 p.m. And with that, I would just like to say thank you all for coming today. And for those candidates that are here who have joined us, thank you all for witnessing the MSC, and good luck to everyone out there. And yeah, that should be all from me. I think publicity. Do you guys want to take a picture?
Yes, please. Can everyone turn on their cameras?
Yep, sure. Hey guys, everyone open your cameras. Nice hair, Rohan.
Thank you, everyone. Okay, I'll take a photo in 3, 2, 1. Okay, thank you.
Right. Thanks, guys.